Alright everyone, Shifty Bikes here. I'm back again with another good video today, and today I'm on some new trails I've never been on before in the Lake District. It's a lake called Windermere if you're interested. Sort of links into today's video because today is going to be about if buying a road legal bike or getting your bike road legal is worth it. So basically, there's a lot of things that can factor into whether you would want a road legal or not. Obviously, with a road legal, you'll get a V5, which obviously is proof of ownership. It's obviously going to be registered to you, to your address. Whether you want it to be registered to you and traceable is another question. But for this is for the people who can have the bikes registered to themselves. It can be in their name. So basically, if you have a road legal version with a V5 and everything, this does actually make a lot of benefit. You was caught by police and the bike was then impounded because of this. This helps you because sometimes to release your bike from impound, you would need proof of insurance to actually get the bike out and take the bike home. Obviously, if you have an off-road version, this is going to be insanely difficult within the time period that they give you, and it's more or less going to be impossible. You could get lucky, you could get an off-road bike out of impound, but I know quite a lot of people do struggle because they can't prove their insurance and prove ownership and all that sort of stuff. So obviously having a V5 does help because you'd be able to get insured on the spot, and you'd also have proof of ownership right there. Obviously, I know this started with a little bit of a negative one because obviously you don't want to get your bikes impounded or anything like that, but this is the harsh reality of it, really.
Yeah, cheers. No, there's another one. Cheers. I've got it, it's alright, yeah.
Main thing that you're going to want to think about is carefree riding. Because it's classed as a moped, you can cruise around, use it as a commuter on nice summer days with no worries at all. There's also lots of legal byways and off-road byways that you could also use, obviously with your plate on and everything. Some of these trails across the UK are actually really good, and it is definitely worth looking at and thinking about because obviously you're completely carefree when you're completely road legal. You don't have to keep looking over your shoulder thinking that somebody's after you. You don't have to worry about being reported as much because obviously everybody around you will know that it's a road legal bike because they'll see the plate and everything. You'll just get looked at in a much more positive light because you're using the legal byways.
Weird.
Obviously, if you're in a city or whatever, you're going to be able to cruise around and go to your mates' houses. You're going to be able to use it as a commuter for work and everything, which personally I wouldn't recommend doing, but that's just personal preference. I just wouldn't want to be. I just wouldn't want to take that risk when these bikes are pretty hot. As a reference for everybody watching today's video, all these lanes and all these trails are completely road legal. These are legal byways which you're allowed to take these bikes on as long as you've got insurance, road tax, number plate, all that sort of stuff. But considering the trails that you can have access to and still be 100% road legal, in my opinion, it's so much more freedom and you're going to have so much more fun on your bike because you're not going to have to worry about all that stupid stuff about worrying about police chasing you, about being reported, about getting caught loading your bike back up into your van afterwards, anything like that. You are literally completely okay.
Cheers. Went wrong way, didn't we? Nightmare.
For a CBT, you can ride one of these bikes from 16 years old.
Not across the road.
Which, again, so much freedom for somebody who's 16 years old to, instead of buying a little 50cc moped, you've been able to get one of these bikes, cruise around on this. You can have so much more fun on one of these, and obviously you've got the opportunity to take it other places, potentially without your number plate. For example, actual off-road tracks or on private land or wherever you can get yourself into, really.
Sorry. Cheers. It must be that way.
Going to do a little bit of a cost analysis of going for road legal. So obviously normally it's around £250 extra to get your bike road legal, and this will come pre-registered you'll get a V5 sent to your address, in your name, everything like that. Then you've got insurance to deal with. So, depending on what license you've got, if you was to just ride this on a CBT, which I'm assuming most people will probably do, if you was to ride this on a CBT with L plates displayed front and back, your insurance is around £350 to £500 per year, depending on your age. Obviously, this is taking into account loads of different areas, because obviously different postcodes will have different insurance quotes, all stuff like that. I'm just giving a rough average of my experience and what I've seen with people who I know got road legal bikes, and everyone I speak to really does agree and says that 100% they would go road legal if they had the opportunity to buy their bike again. I understand if you're buying a bike second hand, this can be quite difficult, but it can actually still be done. And my friend Jammy Dodger 93, he has put a 3-part series on his YouTube channel on how to get your bike road legal if you was to go from an off-road bike perspective and you wanted to change it to a road legal bike. So that's on Jammy Dodger 93's channel, which is my good friend. So go hit him up, go ask a few questions, see his videos, give it a like, big up. Another thing to mention, which obviously is a little bit of a grey area anyway, just because you've got a road legal bike does not mean that your number plate is permanently fixed to the bike. So like I said earlier, if you was going to off-road tracks or on private land, you could just remove this number plate, and again you're back to that non-road legal perspective where you wouldn't be out on the roads with no plate, but it's obviously not as traceable, and if people are going to see you, they're not going to be able to report you by your registration number. The only real last thing that I can mention, which is the only real negative of being road legal, is obviously your modifications. So if you're planning on getting one of these bikes, say a Surron, or even like in my case a Talaria XXX, or even a Stinger, these are all classed as L1E motorbikes. So for the road legal versions of these bikes are classed as an L1E, which technically is limited to 28 miles per hour. And that's why when you buy these road legal versions, you've got to cut the wire. You've just got to be careful with things like insurance if you're doing certain modifications, because, for example, a graphics kit on a bike, technically you would be supposed to tell your insurance, and sometimes if you was to put this on the insurance, you wouldn't actually be insured. So just be very mindful what you're doing to your bike, changing the colour, putting vinyl wrap kits on, stuff like that. If it looks OEM, I think you wouldn't have any issues, but I think if you're going for bright, bold colours, you powder coating the frame different colours, all that sort of stuff, then yeah, your insurance, you're probably gonna struggle. If you go for things that are looking like OEM, then that can just be, this is what the bike came like, if you understand what I'm saying. And the 28 mile an hour thing is obviously, if you're in a real busy area, don't get seen going much higher than 28 miles an hour.
Oh wow. Oh, it's like going off a cliff.
Obviously, there is mopeds out there that have got L plates on, and no one can really decipher whether it's a 125 or a 50. It's just something to be mindful of, that your insurance might be a little bit more difficult if you're planning on majorly modding these bikes. If you was planning on doing modifications and stuff like that, I probably wouldn't recommend the road legal route, and I'd probably use one of these bikes as more of a toy. If you wanted the road legal still, and you wasn't planning on doing that much, but you wanted more power than normal Light B or XXX, then you would probably be better off going for an Ultra B. As an example, if you had an Ultra B and the TC1000 controller, or most controllers to be honest, I don't think anyone's really going to know that it's not 100% stock, and obviously because it's classed as a L3E and it's a 125, you can technically go at much higher speeds, and it just looks completely normal. So it's just something to bear in mind if you are going road legal. L1E is fixed at 28 miles per hour. So that's all the points I wanted to make for today's video, and in my opinion, with everything we've spoke about today, from my perspective, in my situation, which I know is different for everybody, I think road legal is the only way. If I was to buy another bike, I'd be getting a road legal version, or I'd be making sure I could convert this to road legal pretty quickly after I bought this bike. Because, in my opinion, for the way I ride and the trails and tracks that I go on, if I've got the opportunity to display a plate and not have to worry about any of the things we've spoke about, in my opinion, it's worth its weight in gold. For the sake of paying £350 for your insurance, obviously road tax is completely free, it's a no-brainer. I really hope everyone's enjoyed today's video, and again, I'm going to ask if you could drop a like, if you can give some comments on what videos you'd like to see in the future, anything you'd like me to try, anywhere you'd like me to go, anything like that. And obviously, to keep yourself updated with the channel and the posts that I'll be doing, gotta hit that subscribe button, turn your notification bell on, and you'll get all your notifications whenever I'm posting new videos. Get yourself subscribed, drop a like on the video, comment on the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Shifty E-Bikes signing out.